Hi, this is Dylan Jovine with Behind the Markets. Today is Friday, August 9th, and with me I have Victoria, who just drove all the way in from Ohio. She works with us from our Ohio office, and she kind of visiting with us here. And I said to her, hey, you want to record with me? And I asked her which of the topics I should discuss today. And she actually thought the Buffett one was the most interesting. And, the news that really caught my attention here is that it was reported yesterday in CNBC that Buffett now owns more T-bills than the U.S. Federal Reserve. He owns $234 billion in short-term treasuries compared to $195.3 billion for the Federal Reserve. Now, what are T-bills? T-bills are short-term treasuries, a year and under, a year, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, and sooner. And those are the ones that are really kind of at the highest yield. And, you remember when 2020, those who've been around for a while, remember in 2022, I started really promoting and pushing people to buy T-bills through money market funds, et cetera, et cetera. And again, in our new documentary, my new book, Midnight in America, I'm really talking about the same thing. Actually, if you look at what Buffett's been doing, it really mimics the 4 steps that I talked to you about in Midnight in America. He's been selling off stocks like Apple, which is one of the steps that we talk about in Midnight in America. And he's been pushing that money into T-bills. Now, most, individual investors can't really go out and buy T-bills. It's very complicated. But I, in Midnight in America, lay out money market funds that go out and buy T-bills, and that yield around 5%. So, what Buffett is signaling is that basically he's loaded for bear. He's been selling some positions that have been overvalued or that have gotten great runs in this market, just like we have. We've sold over 53 positions across all of our services this year, really lighten our load, and really has put a lot of that money into short-term treasuries, which is exactly what we recommend. And of course, in Midnight in America in the book, we actually recommend specific money market funds that'll help you do that, where you can collect 5% and kind of roughly 5%, 4.9, 5.1, it depends on the day, the week, et cetera. But, again, this is the playbook that I share for you in the Midnight in America book and why it's so essentially important. And, Buffett is, again, I'm not a mind reader, but what it looks like he's doing is what we've been doing, which is really understanding that at the very least, a recession is very likely. And Jamie Dimon, the chairman of JP Morgan Chase, came out yesterday saying that, he sees the odds of a soft landing at 35%, meaning that he thinks there's a 65% chance of recession. And, he's saying that they're getting clobbered in commercial real estate and, all the things that we've been talking about in Midnight in America and for the past month here. The other thing is I talked to a Wall Street friend of mine, a bond guy, yesterday, who also was talking to a buddy of his who works at a bank, I won't mention the name, big money center bank. And he says his friend doesn't have time to talk to anybody, really doing all these write-downs in these commercial real estate loans, really that have just gotten clobbered by the work from home culture after post-COVID. So, there's a lot of stuff happening underneath the surface of this market. And, the market action itself, what we're seeing here is, lower lows, lower highs. You see the stock market drop 1,000 points on Monday, and then Tuesday it rallies up 700, but it closes up 300. And then you see it rally, the day after that, 400, then it closes down 100. What's happening is professional investors are selling into the rallies. Unfortunately, these are people that for the most part, so this is the transition phase of the market. These are people for the most part who are still at the party, who haven't, thankfully for us, by selling the stocks that we have over the past, this year, since January 1st, we kind of got out before the music ended. But, the music's winding down. They're starting to put on lights at the bar or the club, whatever you want to use. And, this market looks like, at least in the short term, it's going to face incredible selling pressure. Anyway, that's all I have today. Have a wonderful weekend.